Damn it. What's going on, everyone? CE420 here. I want to jump right in today's video. I tried recording this video 2 other times, and audio just is not working out. But we got it back now. If it does sound weird, I apologize. I'm using my backup microphone that I actually use for gaming and talking to my buddies. So it may sound a little weird, but let's just hop right into it, get that awkwardness right out of the way. Genetic factors when it comes to growing and using the plant we all know and love. Let's hop right into the first thing I want to talk about, which I feel is extremely important, especially if you're going outdoors. And we're mostly going to be focusing on outdoors in this video because a lot of the genetic factors you can combat by changing your environment and switching it up. But when we go outdoors, that's more when it's going to be something that we really need to do our homework on and make sure we're growing something for our environment. So let's get into some key points that are going to keep us successful in the future, with number 1 being nodal spacing. Now, nodal spacing is extremely important and near and dear to my heart. It's something I harp on all of the time when I'm looking at genetics and considering how and where I can grow them. Nodal spacing, if you don't know, is basically the space in between each node, aka bud site. When that plant goes into flower, those buds are going to expand and grow. We've all seen it, and it's really awesome to see a plant get filled out and be dense and thick. It's very nice aesthetically, but it's not always what you want to go for. And personally, when I was very young, considerably when it comes to the legal age, I was growing, and I was maybe 2 years into my growing career, and I wanted to see if I could grow a plant outdoors. And one thing I didn't take into consideration was I picked a mother plant with a very dense nodal structure, and growing in a greenhouse in Michigan, it got extremely humid and very hot inside that greenhouse. This was something I was not able to combat, and when that plant flowered, it flowered extremely thick and dense, and it ended up developing bud rot very early on in the flower stage. I'd say it developed in week 3 or 4, and then by week 6 we completely had to throw out that plant. It was just too much to bear. We didn't want to lose any more plants to bud rot, and we ended up just completely scrapping that plant. Very sad situation, and I would hate to see it happen to myself or anyone else. So keep your nodal spacing into consideration when you're picking out genetics. Maybe look at a couple vlogs of people growing that plant, look at a couple reviews, see if the specs are there on the seed bank you choose or breeder that you choose, and see if you can pick out something that has a higher nodal spacing, or if you have a low humidity climate throughout the entire grow season, maybe you can get away with a denser bud structure, but it is a very important thing to take into consideration. Speaking of outdoor growing and bud rot, we have our resistance to mold and pests, and this is going to be very important, especially when you're going outdoors where you have the direct exposure to the atmosphere and direct exposure to nature and natural animals. When you're looking at resistance to pests, you're going to want to take into consideration the fact that the humidity, you're not going to be able to control it. If you're outdoors, bugs are going to be able to get to your garden if they want to very quickly, and you are going to have very little defense. You are going to have very little things you can do by yourself as a grower. There's only so much we can do to change nature. And let's face it, a lot of genetics are not made to be grown outdoors in this day and age. And there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of plants have to be grown indoors, but it's a very popular way to grow. So I don't see that as a huge problem because the outdoor genetics are definitely there if you want to get them. And if you can't get what you're looking for, you can make it. When we talk about resistance to pest and mold, not only is there going to be a genetic baseline of things that it's naturally resistant to, which you should be able to look up, and if you have a quality seed bank, they will be able to list those things for you, or just pick specifically outdoor genetics and they should treat you just fine. But you can also dial in your nutrition, get the brick levels to where they need to be. And if you don't know what a brick level is, basically it's how dense and hard the cell wall is to the point where bugs don't register it as food. That's the basic keynotes. If you want to do more research on that, I highly encourage you to. And hey, if you're getting value out of this video so far, go ahead and leave a like. It really helps the channel out. Another thing you might be able to look into is how well you can actually clone a plant and how well the plant will grow after being cloned. And as well as that, you can look into the germination rate of a certain cultivar. You should be able to find these factors to help you with your success of at least getting through the germination stage and rooting phase of your plant's growth. This has obvious implications. You want a high success rate in creating new life. But the next thing we're going to get into has a lot more to do with the usage and applies to both indoor and outdoor growers, which is terpene and flavonoid profile. And it kind of goes without saying, you're obviously going to want to look for something you like. Obviously, if I didn't like pineapple, let's say hypothetically, I didn't like pineapple for some reason, and I ordered something called Pineapple Kush or Pineapple Express, and I ordered those seeds, took the 4 to 6 months to grow it out, and then cut it down, waited the 7 to 10 days for it to dry, and then burped it for 2 weeks, and I got PO'd that the plant tasted and smelled like pineapple, I would be a considerably stupid person. But if there's something that happens to come in and it describes it one way, the phenotype you grow doesn't turn out how you like, and you're experimenting with new things, seeing if you'll like it when it translates to our plant. Thankfully, in a lot of states where this plant is legal, you are able to gift your plants away. You're able to gift the bud away, and you can get rid of those things very quickly and move on to the next thing that hopefully you do like. After all, this is a community where we're built on sharing the love, and uniting each other and just coming together and doing something great for society as a whole. But basically everything from trichome density, terpene profile, the growth morphology of the plant in every single aspect, even leaf shape, stretching, vigor, the thickness of the branches, everything that goes into the plant, how it looks, how it acts, how it feeds, how much it feeds, the complications it's going to give you as a grower is all genetic. And it's a very vast, a deep sea of things we can get into when it comes to cannabis genetics. And if you want a part 2 to this series, go ahead and leave a like. It will make sure that I know you guys like this kind of content. Go ahead and leave a comment of what kind of genetics you want me to deep dive into, what genetic factors are giving you trouble possibly, and how we can fix that. And if you want to absolutely share the love, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel out, and hopefully it will help you out with getting you guys new information on a consistent basis, having a conversation, and learning our plant. That's what this is all about. I will see you guys next time. Thank you very much.